one thing I really want to do is get this fire as hot as possible right away. That's the best way to start your fire. If you're gonna have a fire in a wood stove, try to get it as hot as you can, as quickly as you can. Just get that thing roaring. And that way you know you're gonna have a nice, good base when you start putting bigger pieces of wood on the fire. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it an even better draft. This stove is incredible, and I get asked a lot of times, how can I get one of these stoves? You can't. You can't get one of these stoves. It's a one-of-a-kind stove. It was made just for me by my mother's boyfriend. His name is Jerry, and he's a welder, and he knows his sheet metal, and he's an artist, really, if you ask me. And I consider him like my second father, and he made this for me last year. I'll put a link to the video, and it's a gift that I will cherish for the rest of my life. For as long as I am camping, I will cherish this stove. So no, you can't get one. He doesn't make them to sell. It was just a gift, and it's the only stove like this in the world, and because it was made by him. And you can see already, look at that, it's like a bed of coals, and this stove has been going for about 7 or 8 minutes, and it's ready now. It's ready to take bigger pieces of wood and really get cranking. Listen to that take off. Now, if you're wondering about this wood, I brought it from home, and I have a wood stove that I use at home all winter long, and I got extra wood this year. I got quite a bit of wood, so I can bring some out here. And this stuff is really, really dry, and it's ready to go. I don't mind going into the trees and taking down some dead standing wood, and I will do it. I will. I've done it many times on this channel. But if I'm going to be bringing in this boggin, I might as well just grab a couple of armloads of wood every time I'm coming in, and it just keeps me warmer throughout the winter, and it's less work in the knee-deep snow out in the bush. I can just do it this way, and it's already processed. I get a lot of comments on my channel about how neat and organized and tidy everything is here. Well, it's not necessarily the case. Today, I'm going to make sure that this camp is perfectly set up for me to have a really comfortable winter camping season. the guy who lives on this lake, he has a dog. That dog is barking hard today. I don't know what's going on over there. There's a chance there's another dog over there playing with him, or he sees an animal. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he's barking at a squirrel, but you might hear some barking throughout this video. And yeah, it's just in case you're wondering where the barking's coming from. See, I got a lot of junk in this tent. It's stuff I use and need, but I want it to be organized a whole heck of a lot nicer. So a lot of you have been asking me about this Coleman oven, and it's not easy to find. I got it off of Amazon, and it works okay. I've got a brick in there, and I'm actually going to take it out for now to make it easier to move around. And the bricks regulate the heat a little bit more, like even it out. If you put a couple on the bottom there. And it's got like all these vents for you to, like, I guess they're like holders for you to be able to adjust where you want the rack. So there's a lot of ventilation with this thing, like a ton of ventilation. But it works. I've cooked in it and it does an okay job. I just throw it either on my propane stove or I throw it on my wood stove. The heat indicator though is not very accurate, I have to say. It's really hit and miss. I can set this thing for 350 on my propane stove, but you know, things will end up either being undercooked or overcooked, so it's not very accurate. But yeah, just watch your food if you get one of these. Keep a close eye on it. Wear a glove when you're opening and closing it, because this is metal here. There is, looks like cork in between maybe, or something in between, but either way, it's just safe. Obviously, use a glove if you're going to handle the top, if it's being used. But it's just fun, right? And it collapses and goes into this box right here. So it's, yeah, it's a fun little stove, oven. And I like using it from time to time, especially if I have lots of time here. I can just put food in, forget about it. So some of the stuff's going to go back the way it was. But I really want to organize a lot of that stuff. Let's center that. You guys are about to hear the loudest stove of all time. Listen to this. Just ripping. Amazing. It's like a dragon. The stove is the dragon. I'm going to start calling it the dragon from now on. These right here are toilet waste bags, double duty toilet waste bags. They are amazing. They're really nice. You never get your hands dirty with them. They've got this bio gel in them that kind of like keeps things from stinking too much, and I think it just kind of binds up all the waste that's in there. So those are going in there. I have these really nice big garbage bags that I'm actually gonna And I like to hang this in the corner of my tent at the beginning of every trip. And then I just load it with all of my garbage. And then I normally just pack it, take it with me, and discard it when I get back home. Always wipes. And I'll leave one bag of wipes handy just so I can grab it, right? So I can just reach for it. These will be spares. And I have these wipes too, which are a bit frozen. Actually, they're frozen. These ones are in alcohol, so they don't freeze. These ones are like your baby wipe. But those are valuable when doing the double duty. Okay. Okay. Make a decision over how I want this. That's nice. So you see that I have this opening in here, and that was on purpose, so that way I can access things really easily, as opposed to having it just covered and then having it really deep and not being able to grab at stuff. And I'm 5'10", so this is probably like 7 feet here. You guys can see here I have a just an element that you can plug in. It's just a really cheap, like $15, $20 jobby that I got at a local department store. And I will plug this into my jackery. And it's just a nice little backup to have here. So whenever I have my jackery, if I'm not looking to use propane, if my stove's not ready yet, especially in the summertime, I can just plug this in. This is going to be the best place to sleep this winter. I am telling you. Oh, it's going to be like this. Sleeping bag is just a big, giant, lovely, heavy sleeping bag. It's a base camp sleeping bag, and I get a lot of questions on this. And so it's a Chinook sleeping bag. It's called the Beast. I got it at a local outfitter shop. If you look up Chinook, C-H-I-N-O-O-K online, hopefully you can find a link that will take you to their array of sleeping bags. And this is like one of the best that you can get. It's a minus 40 Celsius sleeping bag, so that would be a minus 40 Fahrenheit sleeping bag. When I'm in this and that stove is going and it's minus 40 outside, it is heaven. It's like I'm just sleeping in a giant puffy pillow. It is the best. So yeah, Chinook That is the brand. This is called the Beast. I paid for it with my own money. Like I said, I got it at a local outfitter. And I recommend it. It's not a backpacking sleeping bag. It's not. It's a cabin sleeping bag, or you know, a hunting sleeping bag when you're going hunting, you know, and you have a camp set up for a bunch of days and you got a base camp. That kind of thing. It's wonderful. It really is wonderful. And look, you have like a little pocket. What really makes a sleeping bag so great is all the layers. You have like this flannel sheet here, super warm. Then you have another layer here with Insafill in it, very warm. And then you've got the main sleeping bag layer right here, very thick. It is incredible how warm this is. So I prefer sausages over hot dogs. But I do love a good hot dog, like a good beef hot dog. But I think if I was to choose, I'm choosing a sausage. What are you guys choosing? A hot dog or a sausage? Like a wiener? If I can get this to go, there we go. Or a sausage. And what do you have on yours? I'd love to have sauerkraut on this right now. That would make this perfect. Oh, baby. Mmm. I'm getting all my splits ready for when I come back. The old Husqvarna hatchet doing okay. So when I come back, I'll have these two for my bed. And then I'll have all this to start the fire. I don't want to do those first. I actually want to put these ones on last, because when I come in next time, I'll take them right off the top, put them in the stove, put my kindling here, light it, and then I'll stack the wood around it. So, smaller pieces to go in first. So I have a stash of wood underneath my cot, similar to this, ready to go in an emergency situation. And I'm going to leave it there, and it will always be there as an emergency stash, and I will only use it when I'm in an emergency. So I am prepared in case things go wrong. Now, I do like to split my wood when I show up and go through all the motions. For one thing, I feel like it's just a really nice way to start a video. I know a lot of people who watch my channel love that stuff, and I know a lot of people who watch my channel feel like it's backwards and it should be the last thing I'm doing, making sure I have enough kindling to start a fire, splits, whatever you want to call it, as soon as I arrive. So I like doing both. And the last couple of times I've come here, I've prepared myself. So yeah, this is pretty nice. And it's just to carry the wood, right? That's a nice bundle right there. I haven't seen tracks in a couple of years, and right now it's like mad around my tent. And these are all rabbit tracks, for sure. Arctic hare, I'd imagine. Wow, they're everywhere. I'd love to see one. I've never snared rabbits before. Wow. I believe these are squirrel tracks here. This might be as well. Sometimes you see like a line like that with squirrels. And there are squirrels around here. Every time I show up, they just go nuts. But yeah, wow. I bet you these animals are really active at night. And look, they go right around the back of the tent. Oh, I see squirrel tracks going right underneath the tent. So that doesn't surprise me. Tracks are everywhere. And they lead underneath. I mean, if I was a squirrel, I'd love to go underneath of there. Call it home. Be protected. But look at this. Squirrels and rabbits going mad. You guys might have noticed today that I have a new parka. I've been trying to find the right parka, and I used this blue and gray one for like 5 or 6 years up here, and I've got holes in it, and it's just trash, and it's because I used the living heck out of it. Like, I really did put it to the test. So I have a Skookum brand parka. I know a lot of you ask me about this. It's a Skookum brand. Just Google Skookum brand. You'll see the website. The website's not the greatest, but the woman there, her name is Megan. She runs the place. I ordered this from her. They are not cheap, but they are wonderful. They are super windproof. They are nicely insulated. It's a pullover. You can see in the armpits here, In case it gets too hot, you open up the armpits, let some cool air in on both sides. And I decided to go with black because black just works with everything, right? And I love pullovers. Look at that fur. Look at that. Baby, that is nice. And you can cinch it tight right here in the neck if you want to pull it tighter. It's got this beautiful like neck warmer thing that's built in. This is what people in the Iditarod and the Yukon Quest wear. This type of jacket. So it allows for you to stay warm and cool at the same time. And I absolutely love it. I was really happy to buy this off of her because she's just got this shop over in Dawson City, Yukon. And she's got a great little business, and so I'm supporting that. I'm getting away from Canada Goose. I was a Canada Goose guy for a long time. I've been in the north for many, many, many years, and including my time as a child. And Canada Goose, snow goose parkas have been the thing forever. And once they got out of the fur business, I decided that that was it for me, because I believe real fur, if sustainably harvested, is the best. And it's what animals use to stay warm, right? It's what's on their body. It's made for this. It's made for the brutal cold. So yeah, I love it. Skookum brand. S-K-O-O-K-U-M brand. Like almost all one word. Just put it in all one word. You can see here, it's all one word. Skookum brand. And yeah. So that's it. This is the new parka, and it is a perfect fit. It's a medium. It's what I needed. My last one was a large. It was much too massive. This is excellent, and I'm really hoping to get many, many years out of this parka. Dishes stuff. Emergency dry clothes. Electric element. Coleman oven. Rope, nails, stuff like that. And this is like toilet paper, my double duty bags, wipes, stuff like that. Easy access to salt and pepper, coffee, and a cutlery set, wipes, and my slingshot. And you can see this is going to fill up with stuff over time. Already I've got a lighter and some chapstick in there. There's a frying pan, my new antlers for hanging stuff, spare plastic bags, which I love, my beautiful cross stitch of A Jay in the Woods by Crystal. I've got another bag here, and I've got some tools hanging. Thermometer. I let the temperature drop and the stove go out, and you guys can see it's getting pretty cold in here. Snowshoes. The paddle for my canoe from my mother, right there. I think it hangs there beautifully. I have another pouch for stuff. This is probably where all of my camera stuff is going to go, because sometimes when I come in here I just have a mess of camera stuff right here. And then I've got my other hanger here, my Skookum parka, my Choco snow pants. They're coming with me. There's my Fisker's axe. I've got my poker, my little broom there. There's my little cook pot. I've got a scraper, and I've got my gloves in my net. I've got a headlamp here. I've got my Coleman lantern, and everything right here is nice and tidy and clean. So I've got a clamp right here. I've got files there for my knives. I've got a file there for my axe, some safety glasses, my propane stove ready to go. Down here I've got my electric chainsaw, and I've got some water, which is just pretty much ice right now. It's all frozen. That's my emergency stash of wood. That is my double duty bucket. This is all of my fire starting stuff, like my extra flames and my matches, stuff like that. Right here, I've got my stash of wood ready to go for when I come back. And this is the final piece, just to make things look really, really nice in here. Okay, well, that is that. A really nice day here at camp. I loved coming out super early, and I normally come out midday, but today it was, I had to do it. If I was going to get out this weekend, I had to come really early, and it's just a day trip. But as you guys can see, the camp looks wonderful. It is so much nicer in here now. It might not seem like much for those of you watching at home, but for me, I know that I am now set up to be really highly organized. I can come in, I can use all these pouches, and I've got more hangers now, and everything is really clean. I've gotten rid of some of the junk, some of the stuff that I intended to use or used for a while and just stopped using. Now I'm just taking all of that out of here. Just some clutter that doesn't need to be here anymore. The top is really nice and organized now. The thing is can I keep it organized? That's the thing. I'm really hopeful that I can, because I've set myself up in a way where I can stay nice and organized. So when I come back to this camp, it's gonna feel even better. And that is the whole point of today and this episode, is that I'm coming back to a camp that is even more welcoming than it's ever been. So I really hope you guys can feel that too. I hope you can see that this place is, it's amazing. It is an amazing little spot, and I'm just so fortunate. I am just the luckiest guy to be able to do this, and I know that, and I hear it from you guys, and I can feel it. I feel you. I know when you say you want to do something like this, I understand completely. And I felt like I just needed to make it even better. Even if it was subtle, it's better. It's organized and it's ready for a full winter of camping. And I hope you guys are going to join me on every single episode. I try my best to get a new video out every Monday. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen forever, but I am trying my darndest to have new videos every Monday. I feel like most Mondays throughout this winter, you will see a video from me. If not, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back really soon.